Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Thursday, August 28th, 2025. I, of course, am here with your daily mortgage rate update, talking to you about what's going on with rates and pricing as we do each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's right, Siegel. Even though I am in California and my computer says 6:30. It is 9:30 right now. 9:30 Eastern time. If you're here this morning, say good morning. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget, just give me hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Lets me separate some of the noise from the analytics of all these people that watch versus the ones that really watch. So I appreciate y'all doing that. It's a small thing, but it does make a difference for me. If you're here this morning and you're on Facebook, don't forget to smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up. Maybe tag an originator in the comments. Help us grow the show. Always appreciate you doing that. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. If you're on YouTube and you are watching on the replay, please make sure that you do say hashtag replay in the comments there on YouTube. That stuff matters. It helps with the algorithm. So remember, in fact, the more that you engage, the better the show gets. I love your comments, and so do the platforms. So please be sure to go ahead and say hello and let me know what's going on in your world. If you would like a text reminder, little text reminder on what's going on, that I am live, you can get that no problem. In fact, that reminds me, I did not send out the text reminder. So here, let me send it out real quick. Quick, I'm live. All right, save. I got to refresh this page. It figures. It's always taking a second, right? So here we go. Quick, I'm live. That's why no one is on this morning. Everyone's like, I didn't get a text message. Maybe Hammer's not going live this morning, but no, I'm here. I'm here. Watch this, right? So if you too would like to get a text message, hmmr.io/reminder. Let's see when this thing pops out and it says ding, and we get a text message. There it is. Look at that. There. Maybe not. I don't see a text message. I'll let you know when it comes in. But anyway, go ahead and sign up for those, and we'll get you on there. So today, what are we going to be talking about today? There's really not a ton to talk about. We got some GDP data. We're going to go over some GDP data, the revised GDP numbers. We'll look at the jobless claims. We'll take a look, of course, with the technicals. We'll see what's going on with bonds this morning, where rate sheets and pricing are likely to be. Tomorrow, we got the PCE inflation data that's going to come out first thing in the morning. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about what might happen with that this morning. And that's kind of it. That's kind of our agenda for today. So we're going to talk about. So let's go ahead and let's say hi to the live folks. If you're here this morning, say good morning. Holly Johnson, you got one this morning because they just went out. I just sent them. Yeah. Mike Brown, good morning. Candido Diaz, good to see you. Nathan Einkorn, I saw your TikTok 10 commandments, dude. Good stuff. Good stuff. Keep doing that. Keep building on social. Y'all, so for those of you that don't know why I'm here in San Diego, because I don't talk about it a lot, I am part of a mastermind community called Founders Board. It's run by the Scalable Company, and one of the things that we covered at this 2-day event was pertaining to social and the entrepreneurial influencer, if you will. And I'm going to bring some of that stuff back to y'all because there's definitely things. So if you're not a member of Grab and Go Social, go check it out. Grab and Go Social is one of my products. Again, many of you know that I have Originator Success, but I also we're rolling out individual products for y'all. So check out Grab and Go Social. I will be sharing what I've learned and the handouts and stuff that they gave me here with our Grab and Go Social members on our weekly coaching call, probably next week on Tuesday. So you got plenty of time to join and be on next Tuesday's call or be able to watch the replay. Grab and Go Social, learn more about what it is and how it helps you. But basically, imagine that every day you wake up and you could just grab some content, get out there, go post something. If you wanted to customize it, you could. We've also got community and coaching. Check out Grab and Go Social. You can give it a try for $7. It's very simple. If you like it, the price does go up. It's normally $147. You'll stay below $100 though. Cancel anytime, no setup fees. Go check it out. So otherwise, who else we got here this morning? Will Patterson, Amy Blauser, Michael Love. Good morning, Rob Stewart, Bobby J. Jones, Sean Segaloff. Sean Segaloff said Austin is more awesome than Hammer. He didn't say that, but he did. I know he did because there's this list. It says Austin is awesome, and then in subtext, even more so than Hammer is. Austin is awesome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Austin is also my son-in-law, and so I do love that kid. So Dallas Hidalgo, good morning, sir. Great to have you here. All right, let's get to it. Let's get started, y'all. Let's have some fun. Did Siegel come in and tell us what today's big day is? If not, we need someone else to take a look for us. By the way, how many of you are in your fantasy football leagues? I'm not a fantasy football guy. It'd probably be all consuming for me if I was. But getting ready for some NFL football. What are we, like a week away? I'm excited. I'm stoked. I do love me some football, NFL football. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and you know what? Let's do it this way today. I'm going to talk here. So first, quick recap what happened yesterday. So bonds made some small gains through the day. Wasn't huge. There were a handful of reprices better, generally on the wholesale side, which is often the case. And bonds are up about 25 basis points since Monday, but Monday they started down lower. So they're only up about 10 basis points on the week, but that's better than a kick to the eye, right? Segeloff is in 3 leagues, down to 1. Now you're back in 3. Holy smokes. Nathan Einkorn, go blue. That's college ball, bro. And how come you're a Michigan fan, Einkorn? I'm curious. I was born in Michigan, so there's always a little bit of, blue in my blood. So Will Patterson, he saw reprices better. Good. Thanks for letting me know, dude. Appreciate that. So rate sheets today are going to be a little bit better. If you did see reprices better yesterday, they might be a smidge back today. Bonds are down a little bit on the morning. I'll show you that in a minute. We'll do the technicals, but not a big move. But we're seeing very, very small moves. Really, rates very stable right now. We're going into tomorrow's PCE inflation data. We'll talk about that in a minute, but reprice risk on the day today is low. So far today, we've had GDP and we've had non-farm payroll. So I'll show you some articles about those in a minute. And then the overall outlook, I mean, it's not likely that we're going to see any big moves. Things are, even with tomorrow's PCE data. So we're going into the long holiday weekend. You got Labor Day on Monday. It's the end of the summer. Traders will basically be gone on Friday. We'll see a little bit of movement. Go Dinkins. Thank you, Miss Dingans. She threw it out there for us. Today is National Power Rangers Day. They have National Power Rangers Day. National Thoughtful Day. National Red Wine Day. I thought that was yesterday. But I don't know. National Cherry Turnover. I can go with that one. That one works for me. And National Bow Tie Day. If you haven't watched the show Young Sheldon, go check it out. It's on Netflix. He wears a bow tie. That's what reminded me. I actually really enjoyed that show. So, all right, let's go ahead and thank you, Monica, for doing that. I appreciate you bringing all of that up to us. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the technicals here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the technicals. And while I do, I'm going to throw our lock advice alert sign up on the screen. If you are interested in getting our text alerts, we send out a morning alert, we send out an afternoon alert, and if we're afraid that we're going to see reprices worse, we send out a reprice worse alert. Yesterday wasn't enough improvement to send out a reprice better alert, but we do those too. But go ahead and for those of you that are not signed up, there's the info. Go ahead and check that out, and I'm going to get to this stuff here. So taking a look here, let me go ahead and pull that off the screen though, because it might be in the way. All right, let's see. Let's make it full screen. All right. Oh, if I put my little head on there, it doesn't really seem to matter. I'll put my little head on there. So actually, let's do the corner. No, we'll keep it there. All right. So take a look here. This is what I was talking about Friday. We're right about here. And let me switch to the arrow so I can get like at least a semi-straight line. Right? So, I mean, if we take a look, here you go, booyah. We're up a little bit this morning over where we were on Friday. Monday we were much lower. So, but if we kind of pull that out, you could see, on the week, this is actually much better than I would have anticipated. Look at the improvement that we've seen in mortgage bonds for the week. Again, from Friday, it's a little bit less. If we go ahead and do this here. So that's kind of where we're at. And if we're more realistic, let's pull this off for a second and go with where we're actually at right now, because we are down a little bit on the morning. We're down about a whopping 4 basis points. But there you go. It's just a slight improvement on the week. And slight improvements still are improvements. So that's going to give us a happy face. And I wonder if you do. Oh, it does work to do Command Z. All right, there we go. Oh, now he's got a big head. Okay, that's just creepy. There we go. We're going to go with that one. So that's give us a happy face and kind of where we're at. 10-year treasury yield, also kind of interesting. 4.24, which is good. You can see here, remember, we want the yield on the 10-year treasury to go down. It's the opposite of mortgage-backed securities. So we were up here, and we've since kind of come back down. We're not down to the lowest levels that we got down here in August. We are flirting with right here, though, if we kind of draw that across. Oh, that's terrible. Come on, Hammer. Like, you guys don't know how hard this is on a trackpad. There we go. We're kind of flirting with that. But 4.24, as far as where things are at, I mean, this is definitely a good thing. Tomorrow, we're going to get that PCE inflation data. I don't really expect that to make a big difference. Take a look at mortgage bonds, though. Look here at mortgage-backed securities. I am absolutely going to admit that I did not think we would break above right about here, but they are above that and they continue to creep higher. So I've been in a locking stance and we haven't really left much on the table. I mean, even if you're using Mortgage News Daily as a reference point, I mean, 6.52 and now 6.51, it's really not that much of a move, but we crept a little bit higher, then it kind of came back lower. This was Friday. And then Monday got a little bit worse, and then it kind of matched Friday, and then it got slightly better yesterday, and not big moves at all. It kind of shows that lenders are stalled with pricing, not seeing a big move there at all. So, but as far as this morning, U.S. economy expanded at a revised 3.3% rate, stronger on stronger investment. So, what we really want to be paying attention to here is strong economic data is not going to support lower mortgage rates. Doesn't matter what Trump or anyone else wants. It's not how it works. Stronger economic data like this actually is a good thing for them on one element, but yet on other elements, it's not. So we're not looking to see anything. The economy expanded at a faster pace in the second quarter. There were arguments, though, that some of this buying was due to the tariffs coming into effect and that people were buying before things hit. I know I did. I was looking at buying things before the tariffs hit because we have seen increases in prices on stuff already. So other articles, other headlines here. Let me go ahead and I have a cool little caption here for this. Hold on a second. Let's look at the headlines. There you go. So looking at the headlines, 5 things you need to know. NVIDIA shares are down, stock futures, blah, blah, blah. Warren Buffett has raised its stakes in Mitsubishi. There's really the bond for bankrolling Europe's defense spending. There's nothing here, nothing that really catches our attention or anything we need to see on. This here, good morning, markets, NVIDIA, blah, 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 Japan. There's really, not that much going on here. Here we go, little Trump news. State Department sought to distance itself from reports that at least 3 Americans with links to Trump traveled to Greenland to get it to secede from Denmark. They allegedly gathered information about local Trump supporters as part of a campaign to convince the island's residents to back a U.S. takeover. I'm telling you, I think before this guy leaves, we're going to have taken over Greenland. I do think it's going to happen. Trump is dead set on taking control of the territory despite opposition from Greenlanders and Danes. One thing we've seen is that Trump does what Trump wants to do, whether anyone agrees with it or not. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying it points to how many of you think that we will make a move at taking over Greenland. And I know that it can be a bit of a fire topic, but survival in the world's a tough place, and we want what's there, and I think they're going to take it. think they're going to take it. So, also, Lisa Cook, this was an article. It's not really an article. Lisa Cook sues Trump over his move to oust her from the Fed board. I read this one this morning. There's really nothing there. It just says that she's suing him, right? So it's really there. This is going to go to, this will work its way up to the Supreme Court, and we'll see where this goes. We'll see kind of how it goes. So, but really not much here. I don't even know if have they moved forward with the for cause part. Yeah, I mean, here's the argument about the for cause. We've talked about this already, so we don't need to keep talking about it all together. But laws that describe for cause generally define the term as inefficiency, neglect of duty, and malfeasance, meaning wrongdoing in office. And I think that's kind of the key. Is there's an argument of in office. So if you went back in time and she got a speeding ticket, they're not going to be able to say, well, you need to take her out because she got a speeding ticket when she was 17. So they look for that in office. So we'll see how all this plays out. But otherwise, there's really not much else on the agenda. Let's take a look at the Bloomberg stuff here. Did they put the jobless claims in this little section here, or do they do that in a separate one? Okay, so that's a separate one. Let's go back to the main page here. And where is they moved to the front, the stories. This became the front story now. They moved the jobless claims. It was on here. Let's see if Google's indexed it yet. So jobless claims. Jobless claims came in at 229. Bloomberg. Let's see if there we go. So, all right. Isn't it crazy that they have a search feature on Bloomberg and it's so terrible? I use Google and it finds the article. U.S. initial jobless claims edged down to 229 last week. Applications for unemployment edged down last week, suggesting employers are holding on to current workers. Again, this also fails to show a lot of labor market weakness. Continuing claims also fell to 1.95 million. So that's kind of, I want to say even more important is the fact that the continuing claims have also gone down. So you're not really going to see much on anything that's going on there. But otherwise, as far as the outlook, again, I'll throw the lock advice stuff. I'm still locking. When you got rates improving tiny smidge, mortgage-backed securities down just a hair today. What we say they were before? They're down 4 basis points. I mean, not enough to really matter, but it's a little bit. What we'll see, but that's kind of it. That's looking at the technicals, looking at the headlines. That's what we've got. Let's see what you guys have to say, and then we'll wrap it up on here. Mike Morano said yes, and it will be to their economic benefit as well. Oh, as far as Greenland, yeah. I mean, you could argue that. So, listen, man, it's kind of like China and Taiwan, and there's other scenarios. So. We don't do anything with Puerto Rico, but I don't think that Puerto Rico has the rare earth minerals, and that's a lot of it. There's it's going to be done because of an argument about national security and the need for rare earth minerals. We depend on China for rare earth magnets, and that's going to be an issue. So the world and the world's a different place now as far as needing these things for creating modern devices and stuff like that. So, all right, my friends. Well, thank you for joining me. I am out of here in a few hours, flying home back to the East Coast. Greenland's all ice, Iceland's all green. Isn't that funny, Mike? But Greenland is all ice, but it's what's under the ice, Mike, that they want. They want the minerals. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'll see you guys tomorrow back from my desk. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Any suggestions on what you guys think I can do to make this show better? I'd love to hear them. I'm going to do a little bit of a revamp soon. And we'll go from there. So, Mike Brown said China and Taiwan a little different. I mean, it is a little different, but it's not as different as you think. Taiwan still claims independence. China says, no, we own it, and nobody wants to go anywhere near it in the world. That's going to be the same thing. Denmark can't fight the U.S. So it's just, if we say we're going to take it over, what are they going to do? Like get into war? It's not going to happen. It's just, and the world will say, well, we're not going to recognize it. And, you know, it'll be a little, it's almost like Russia and Ukraine. People have a little, except for we won't be bombing Denmark and bombing Greenland. That'll be the difference. So, all right, my friends, appreciate you. We will catch y'all. Yeah, that's what Mike Brown said, a communist country wanting to take over a free democracy. You're right, but I mean, they can't, but we are both parties to NATO. Listen, I don't want to spark a whole political firestorm here, but if there's one thing that Trump has shown is he doesn't care. He'll pull out of NATO, or he'll do it and say, we're doing it anyway. What are you going to do? We're all in NATO. We have an agreement. Okay, we broke the agreement. We want it. Like, have we not seen this? I mean, this is what happens. I think it's just a matter of time. I think he's setting it up. He'll try to do it a little more diplomatically first, but by the end of his presidency, we'll have Greenland. I just think it's the way it is. Austin Sierra, look at you. He's all like, yeah, Sean Segalov, you the man. So, all right, y'all. Monica, thank you for the wish for safe travels. I appreciate it. Hopefully the pilot and the team are top notch and well rested. So, I'm certainly hoping for it. But, all right, I'll see y'all later. Have a fantastic day. Tomorrow we'll talk about what's going on with that PC inflation data, and it's the end of the month. You're going to see some end of month trading, some movement. So it's really a coin flip. We don't know. I think tomorrow could be positive. Cautiously float to start the day, but I'm still in a locking stance, just because you don't know. So we'll take a look. All right, my friends, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.